All right, here we are live at Channel Partners, and this is CVTV. Right now we have a representative from Ooma, and I'm very excited to talk with him. His name is Dave Beagle. Dave is the head of business channels with Ooma. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? You look happy.
I am happy. What's not to be happy about? It's Las Vegas. You know, this is great. Is there a height restriction as far as the show floor?
Not so much for the show floor, but for Ooma and our channel, we do on our applications ask what your height is. So at a minimum, you got to be 6'4". Wow. Yeah, it's tough, right? Yeah. I sometimes get a little lenient, bring in some people a little shorter, but it's okay. They have you know what? Inside their spirit, they're tall. Yeah. Yeah, just like everything we do.
I'm tall laying down, so I understand that. Now, so I keep hearing about this beautiful sunset booth, and I'm going to have to check it out later. But how has the Channel Partners experience been for you guys?
Oh, it's been good. I mean, you know, if you look at the last couple of years, the traffic is back, right? It's COVID's, I wouldn't say over, but listen, people are getting back together. We got a lot of traffic down there. Our booth is an eye catcher. So the copper booth, it's actually all about the copper sunset. And so for us, it's just kind of a message that one of the reasons why we're here is to let people know, if they don't already, FCC has basically said there's no more protection on pricing for all those POTS lines out there, and a lot of the larger LECs are no longer going to maintain it, and we're starting to see some deprovisioning happening. There's a date out there, August 2nd, 2022, which, my God, is only like 5 months away. So there's a big race going on. But for us, it's about getting the message out. Hey, not only is there copper that needs to be replaced, and you need to find a solution, but more importantly, you got to find one for all the life safety devices out there. If you think about all the fire alarms, the security panels, elevator lines, pool phones, right? You know, at a condominium or something like that. Anything that's life safety related, you typically left them on copper. You can't do that anymore. And so we've built a box that is our own. It's fully NFPA compliant. But not only is the box compliant, the full service is compliant. So with our provider, our underlying LTE provider, we've created a nice private peering relationship so that we can be compliant from end to end. And so it's a truly managed service. And one of the things I really want people to walk away with when they come to our booth, outside of seeing the 65 Mustang convertible, is to walk away with some of our differentiators. You know, one of the biggest one is the management aspects, the management portal, allowing administrators or people who are responsible for the POTS to be alerted when things happen, like, hey, the power goes out, the battery, which we have a 12-hour battery on this device, kicks in, lets them know, hey, I now need to go address whatever issue there may be. And these management portals give you access to see what your battery status is, your signal strength, you know, a lot of great things. But yeah, copper sunset, by the way, it's not the only thing we do, right? So Ooma, if you don't know, we are a very large organization. We're supporting 2.5 million endpoints on our network. We do a lot more than copper replacement. We actually do UCaaS, or hosted voice. We provide a lot of SIP trunking opportunities or solutions. Direct routing for teams, another big hot play, right? And so we're communicating and engaging and educating a lot of the partners here on who Ooma is. A lot of them know us more from our residential practice, don't realize we're publicly traded, don't realize that we have this depth in this enterprise practice. And yeah, I mean, I can keep going on, and you probably want to ask me another question, so I'm going to stop for a moment.
Well, you know, you gave me a lot to think about there, but I'm curious about the UCaaS stuff. So what makes Ooma different among the UCaaS providers that are out there?
People is one, organization is another. You know, a lot of us in this space have a lot of the same feature functionality. So what sets us apart is how we deliver the service. So we have a very deep bench of project managers. We spend a very extensive amount of time through discovery and that process. All of our partners and their clients get 24/7 support in North America, right? We don't offshore anything. You know, some other things more from the UCaaS standpoint, which parlays into some other areas, is when we're able to get into some highly complex environments, especially in large enterprise, we will do a lot of, this is a dangerous word, customization, but we'll do a lot of things, actually be very flexible to drive more about what the customer needs. I think what's happened over the last few years is we've tried to force customers into a way of working that fit us as a provider. And we have to get back, as an industry, get back to fitting our solutions into their environment. Be customer first, right? And our partners that are working with us are appreciating that. So again, from a UCaaS perspective, it's more than that. It's hybrid, right? people want to go to the cloud, but they have to have a migration strategy. They have to come off of a PBX that maybe they're still paying maintenance on, so we can do SIP trunking to that. We can do cloud in other locations. We can create that strategy, right? We can create the software that's designed, again, large enterprise, designed in the way they wish it to operate. And then, of course, from the smaller business perspective, Ooma has a very nice rich heritage in Ooma Office, where we're actually bringing on the average 2-3 users very quick, right? Really meant for like retail or insurance agencies, a lot of insurance agencies, right? A lot of auto body shops. They just need a strong business feature set. And so we've got a couple ways that and for any cat lovers, I'm sorry, we can skin this cat.
Okay. I love it. So I recently saw a press release about the integration with Jazzware. I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, Jazzware is one of our strategic partners, and we're really excited about this, primarily because this goes back to what we were just talking about. Not only can we deliver UCaaS and SIP and some of these other things, but when we create a package and a bundle, we've created one specifically for hospitality. So this news announcement is all about our relationship with Jazzware, who is an organization that creates the middleware for all the PMS integration, the property management systems. So if you think of big companies like Marriott and Hilton and whatnot, they're leveraging Opera or Maestro, and the list goes on. So our relationship with Jazzware allows us to deliver our solution more from a cloud perspective or repurposing infrastructure to the room. Allows us to integrate with that PMS system, which no other cloud provider at this scale can, and it's one of our strongest verticals. And what I would tell the audience who is watching, if you're going to look at Ooma, there's 3 areas, no matter what you come to us for. That's hospitality, that's POTS replacement, AirDial, and the third one is probably these complex hybrid solutions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Up to speed. You caught up?
I'm all good now.
I
think I'm all good there. There certainly was a lot there, and a lot of reasons to get excited about Ooma kind of moving forward through this year and even beyond. What are some reasons that you're excited to be a part of Ooma as we move through the next year?
I love being here because one of the things I recognize is we have so much upside because we're relatively new to this channel. We've been here for about 3 years now, but nobody really understands the scope of services that we can provide. Nobody understands our implementation, how solid it can be, right? And that's part of the education practice. But the reason why I really love it is because we're relatively new to this channel, we have so much upside. We literally are one of the largest UCaaS, or not just UCaaS, we're one of the largest voice providers in the country from a cloud perspective. And so I just can't see a downside here, frankly.
No, there's no downside there. So I keep hearing about this copper booth theme, and obviously with the POTS phase out and all that stuff. I know there's a tie in there. Could you talk about that, Dave?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of the biggest reasons we're here is to educate people what's going on in the industry. I mean, the FCC came out a couple years ago and said that, POTS can be deregulated and be decommissioned, and that date is coming up fast, August 2nd. 2022. So there's a race right now to actually find replacements for that copper that's been really servicing life safety, right? And especially life safety. When you think about alarm panels, security panels, and whatnot. So Ooma's come out with their own product. It's something that we've manufactured. We call it AirDial. It's a real catchy name. In fact, if you go look on the floor, you see that 65 Mustang convertible. It has a license plate that says AirDial on it. It's pretty cool. But, at the end of the day, when we look at the competitive landscape, we know that a lot of people who are reselling POTS boxes, they're reselling somebody else's solution. And so we control our own destiny in many ways because this is something we manufacture, we build our own. And when we look at the UC services or the voice services across the spectrum, Ooma's providing not only UCaaS, we're providing SIP trunking, we provide direct routing for Teams, and now with POTS, we no longer have to tell a customer that you have to go a different direction in an area. We can actually capture all of that business. And for our partners, I think this is really important because not only do they get a solid solution, but when they're talking to their clients, they could bring in one provider that can do all of that, but a single bill, single management, single support structure, which is a better experience for the customers. But this AirDial box, I got to tell you, man, we've certified this thing to actually be for life safety. And when I say certify, it's a little bit of a misnomer, right? We've designed this box to be compliant. It's a compliant thing, right? So the box is NFPA 72. It's a mouthful. It's acronyms, you know how they are. But the box itself is fully compliant, and AirDial is fully compliant as far as through the whole service. So through our relationship with our underlying carrier, we've created a peering relationship to keep all of that traffic private. And that's critical because a lot of people don't realize that when it comes to the NFPA 72, it can't just be the box. It has to be the full service. And so we provide it as a truly managed service, right? And that just makes it very easy to support. One of the other differentiators on our AirDial service is the management capabilities. So not only on the box can you see the signal strength for the LTE or see what the lines are labeled and all these things, you got a portal, our remote device management portal. You can go and see battery status. You can see where the labels are. You can see if something goes off hook. If somebody presses the line on an elevator, you can see it go off hook. So there's a lot of management. You can be alerted for certain events. You know, I think, I'm in New York. We have all kinds of events that always occur. I remember the blackout, right? You know, but if something happens, these things are backed up with battery. It's rated, you have to have for 8 hours minimum. We're rated at 12. We've just, in practice, we've seen it go up to 16 hours. So there's a lot of functionality there. I encourage everybody to look now because, again, August 2nd is rapidly approaching. It's not like the copper lines are going to stop working. It's just that because of the deregulation and the fact that it's costly to maintain it, you're going to see prices skyrocket, right? What typically was $50 for a POTS line, we're seeing invoicing now for anywhere from 100 to 200 and in some cases 300 lines. Now pause and think about this for a moment. You get your AP is getting an invoice. They're just seeing these costs and they're paying it. They're not even looking, right? And more importantly, more people are paying it because they don't even know what they have and they're afraid to turn it off. So part of our process in deploying AirDial, we do the site survey. We can build in an audit of their existing services for the cost savings. And so our partners have different ways to monetize on this. And we're really excited about AirDial along with all of the other UC services that we're delivering.
Now, obviously, you guys had a huge presence at Channel Partners, but for those who couldn't make it out to the Venetian in Las Vegas, where can people go online to get more resources?
Yeah, it's perfect. So there's a couple different ways. You can go to Ooma.com. You can look at our website. There's an enterprise section. There's small business section. There's connectivity options. But more importantly, if you really want a quick answer, just email channelsupport@ooma.com. It will come to me and my team. We'll make sure that we address any of your concerns, your questions, your needs, whatever it may be. You don't have to wait to Channel Partners next year in May to get to us. You can come to us tomorrow. You can come to us today. You can come to us as soon as you see this.
There you go. Thank you so much for the time, Dave.
I appreciate it. It's really fun. I like doing this.
It is a lot of fun. There's energy here. I can feel it. So thank you guys for checking out the CVTV. And, of course, on behalf of Ooma and ChannelVision Magazine, we say thank you and have a great day.